Hey guys, welcome to the Young and the Restless Gossip YouTube channel. Today's content: Young and the Restless star Lorraine Bell is making a new primetime soap. There's a special thrill at the edge of daytime television, whispered betrayals, accidental eavesdropping, and slow-motion reunions that can last for more than an hour, revealing their consequences over months or even years. For decades, that special thrill has been one of Lorraine Bell's stock in trade. As an actress whose face is a constant on The Young and the Restless, Bell knows the language of consistent intimacy, how a glance at a room can speak for a paragraph of dialogue, how a touch of a hand can carry the weight of family history. Now she's taking that language and retuning it for primetime. This piece is a creative exercise, part profile, part fictional production diary, part critical appraisal. It takes a seed of news: Bell is making a primetime soap, and turns it into a full-blown fantasy of what that project could be: its origins, characters, pilot episode, mid-season arc, production design, and the cultural questions the show might raise. I'll be humorous when it helps, analytical when necessary, and always rooted in the kind of intimate, consistent storytelling that Bell has mastered. Think of it as a critique, simultaneously critical and creative. Why Lauralee Bell, and why now? Imagine Lauralee Bell in a sunlit production office. Not literally, this is a theatrical fantasy, surrounded by scripts, mood boards, and a whiteboard filled with character arcs that look like constellations. The motivation for a primetime pivot is straightforward and, indeed, almost inevitable. After decades of struggling with the rhythm of the day, Bell wants to tell denser stories, explore longer thematic arcs beneath the broad canvas of primetime offerings, and invite new viewers into an intimate world that isn't limited to commercial breaks and mid-afternoon routines. But it's also personal. For many television actors who grew up in the comfort of daytime, primetime is a different language: rich production values, the gradual revelation of hidden secrets, the opportunity to marry soapy melodrama with contemporary sensibilities, darker tones, a texture of serial prestige, and modern moral ambiguity. Bell's project, then, is not simply a soap in primetime, but a hybrid, a meaty classic soap with serial prestige, faithful to emotional truth but unafraid to embrace cinematic momentum. Why now? The two answers pair nicely. 1. The current television ecosystem: streaming platforms hungry for consistent, bingeable programming, broadcast networks looking for reliable tentpoles, production studios eager for recognizable names to anchor projects, creates a commercial moment for a soap that can play across appointment viewing and on-demand binge cycles. 2. Audiences have evolved. Daytime viewers who grew up with multi-generational stories are now media omnivores. They will follow familiar faces in new formats if the story honors their emotional investment. Bell's concept recognizes both. It offers emotional reflections of long-term character investment, while simultaneously packaging it with the visual and narrative economy that primetime viewers expect. The result? A project that promises to be both familiar and surprising. The world of the show: high-level intimacy. The core of any soap is its world, a closed ecosystem where everyone's business is everyone else's business. Bell's primetime soap, which we'll call Harbor and Ember for this fantasy, centers on the coastal town of Meridian Cove, a thriving enclave with a classical facade, boardwalk cafes, a historic yacht club, Victorian mansions repurposed into modernist homes, and an underground network of secrets. It's a town burned by old grievances and lit by new aspirations. Meridian Cove's economy rests on two pillars: the old money shipping magnate families, who still control the waterfront and land trusts, and the tech entrepreneurs who have built boutique companies and boutique egos. Tradition versus disruption: this friction is fertile soap land. It makes possible class betrayal, corporate takeovers disguised as family obligations, and the slow erosion of legacy reputations. If daytime soaps are confined to the living room, primetime soaps like Harbor and Ember breathe into public spaces: the stained glass dining room of a yacht club, the glass-walled conference room of a boutique law firm, a late-night piano bar where deals are sealed, and the fog-shrouded swamps on the outskirts of town, where lovers meet, enemies plot, and teenagers make eternal misjudgments. Visual palette: think warm, cinema-grade lighting that softens skin and hardens glass, a color grading that leans toward teal amber for evening scenes, soft pastels for daytime softness. Production design will carefully combine opulence and decay. The broom on the weathered wooden floorboards are in every legal document. Characters. The engines of Dramier soap is nothing without characters so detailed they feel inevitable. Here's the principal cast imagined for Harbour and Ember, the skeletal family trees and interlocking motives that will feed hundreds of episodes. 1. Evelyn Redford, Lauralee Bell. The matriarch with a crack. Evelyn is the emotional center, a woman in her late 50s who has spent half her life navigating family politics and the other half keeping secrets. Outwardly, she's the town's philanthropic queen, gala dresses, the chair of the historical society, the woman who endows the local arts programs. Inwardly, she's haunted by a youthful mistake that, if revealed, would reconfigure the town's power balance. Evelyn's complexity is Belle's playground. Her manner is polite and precise, but her emotions are volcanic. She's learned to manage her volcanic energy through hyper-controlled gestures and a sardonic sense of humor. Her arc, reconciling with a younger lover, protecting her children's futures, and wrestling with the moral consequences of the lie that has held the town together. 2. Marcus Redford, the heir apparent. Marcus, Evelyn's son, is in his mid-30s. He's a corporate shark with a public smile that rarely reaches his eyes. Groomed since college to take the helm of Redford Shipping, he's the town's nominal leader, the man who decides which small businesses stay afloat and which are acquired under the company's strategic development plan. His private fear is irrelevance. The specter of modern tech entrepreneurs edging into his territory terrifies him. He's ruthless in the boardroom and increasingly unsteady in his marriage. His love life becomes a site of political warfare. 3. Selena Ortega. The outsider insider. Lena is a brilliant tech founder in her early 30s who moved to Meridian Cove with an app that helps boutique shops optimize inventory across coastal towns. She's savvy, generous, but not naive. She's also Marcus's public nemesis and private attraction. Her presence triggers generational conflict. She wants to modernize the town, and that threatens everything the Redfords built. 4. Daniel Price, the lawyer with haunted hands. Daniel is a mid-career lawyer who serves as the town's fixer. He is brilliant, ethically flexible, and secretly carrying a debt to someone from the marshlands whose life he once ruined. He is the man Evelyn calls when discretion is required. His history reveals the town's darker threads, a hit and run long covered up, an illicit partnership gone wrong. 5. Clara Redford. The rebellious daughter. Clara is Marcus's younger sister, a muralist and activist who scorns the family business and their entitlement. She's in her mid-20s and sees the shipping empire as a relic that must be dismantled. But rebellion and romance collide when she falls for Lena's younger brother, a union that complicates loyalties. 6. Mayor Helen Voss. The political force of nature in local politics, Mayor Voss keeps the municipal machine running with an iron ledger and a velvet glove. She's the gatekeeper who decides who gets permits, who receives zoning variances, and who becomes the public face of Meridian Cove's renaissance. She has an unspoken pact with Evelyn, one that might become the show's political linchpin. 7. Teen Ensemble. The new generation. A tight group of teenagers, the Redford heir's child, Lena's brother, the mayor's niece, and a kid from the marshlands with a photographic memory of town secrets, function as both observers and catalysts. Their digital native partiality, e.g., viral videos, social media scandals, adds modern mechanisms for secrets to leak faster than in old soaps. The pilot, A Night at the Redford Gallath. Pilot episode must do work, establish mood, characters, stakes, and a central mystery with an immediate emotional hook. Harbour and Ember begins with the Redford Gala, the annual event when Meridian Cove shows itself to the region. It's a tableau of wealth and old alliances, with Lauralee Bell's Evelyn orchestrating the event like a symphony conductor. Act 1. The public face. We open on slow-motion shots, champagne flowing, pearls gleaming, men's cufflinks catching chandelier light. Evelyn gives a speech about honoring our past, but the camera lingers on her face as if waiting for the seam to rip. We meet Marcus smiling thinly, Lena arriving with an app demo in a tablet case, Clara on the fringe with paint-splattered jeans. The mayor gives a toast, the press takes pictures. Act 2, a private reveal. Later, a private moment in the gallery, Evelyn catches Marcus in an argument with a mysterious figure, someone who once worked for the family but left with a grudge. We watch Evelyn's control fracture as she makes a discreet call to Daniel. The narrative energy shifts. The gala is no longer a social event but a chessboard. Act 3. The inciting incident. Outside, a body is discovered in the marshlands, and the camera panning to Evelyn, standing alone on the gallery balcony, a glass of champagne in her hand. The episode's final line, whispered to herself by Evelyn, is a long-suppressed confession. They always thought they could bury the past. They were wrong. That twist, a body, an old lie. The immediate entanglement of public and private lives provides the show's primary dramatic engine, storytelling strategy, soap ritual, primetime rhythm to succeed. Bell's primetime soap must do two things at once: honor soap ritual and adapt to the grammar of primetime storytelling. Consistent intimacy. The key is consistent intimacy, long, sustained relationships in which small changes matter. A split-second betrayal between Marcus and Lena should reverberate throughout the episode, just as a scandal on a daytime soap might reverberate throughout the month. But primetime emphasizes different things: tighter, more cinematic scenes, longer runs, and the narrative's permission to live out the ambiguity quietly. Cliffing. But smarter daytime series rely on daily cliffhangers. Primetime benefits from weekly cliffhangers. Each episode should end on a smart, visceral beat, a revelation, an emotional breakdown, a moral pivot. But because episodes are longer and more self-contained, each cliff should illuminate the character rather than create shock for shock. Cross-platform serialization. As viewers now consume television across streaming platforms and social media, the show will incorporate leak culture into its storytelling. Teens leak a video that reframes a gala kiss as a political assassination attempt. A leak of secrets becomes a plot engine. The show's narrative will include viral elements, turning the town's gossip into both a local and digital phenomenon. The slow revelation. Secrets should be revealed slowly, a line in one episode, a photo in another, a recorded phone call later. These breadcrumb tactics reward dedicated viewers without occasionally disappointing viewers, provided each episode also has an emotional throughline, thematic thread, power, memory, and the value of fame at its heart. Harbor and Ember is a meditation on reputations, how they are created, weaponized, and protected. Each character maintains a persona: matriarch Evelyn, corporate scion Marcus, outsider Lena, and the show explores the labor it takes to maintain those facades. Memory as liability. Memory is a real liability. Old notes, photos, and lovers are the evidence. The town's elders have transformed memory into myth. The young want to digitize it into information. This conflict creates both narrative and ethical tensions. Who will tell the town's story? Who will erase it? Legacy versus innovation. The class and economic tensions between legacy industries, like Redford Shipping, and boutique tech startups are a recurring engine. The show uses this to ask, what is a community for? To preserve the past, or to profit from its reconstruction? It's essentially a contemporary debate framed as a harmonious moral contest. The cost of silence. Finally, the show questions the cost of silence. Many characters keep secrets for what they believe are noble reasons: protection, love, stability, but the show argues that silence imposes a different price. It erodes trust, erodes empathy, and sets the stage for violence. Both symbolic and literal. Episode arcs, season and series beats. If the pilot is a hook, the architecture of the first season should certainly show where the drama will go without giving away too much. Here's a fictional arc map. Season 1, Marshlight. The initial question: who was the body in the swamp, and how does it connect to Redford's past? Episodes 1 to 3, Gala Fallout. Tensions rise between Marcus and Lena. Clara discovers a hidden ledger. Episodes 4 to 6, Daniel's past comes out, his connection to the swamp victims. Evelyn begins to crumble under the pressure. The mayor maneuvers politically. Episodes 7 to 9, the teen's social media investigation uncovers new evidence. A second death, accidental or planned, complicates matters. Leonard's company is targeted in an attempted corporate sabotage. Episode 10, mid-season. A trial, possibly a municipal hearing or preliminary investigation, brings Evelyn and Marcus under investigation. A secret child, possibly Redford's undisclosed relationship, is hinted at. Episodes 11 to 13, a shift in family alliances. A major betrayal, Marcus makes a corporate decision that hurts Clara. Evelyn's lies begin to come to light. Episode 14, season finale. A major public revelation, possibly a recorded confession that redefines who the swamp victims were and reveals an unexpected family connection. The season ends with a moral reckoning and a promise that the town will never be the same again. Season 2 will expand its scope. National media investigator. An old love from Evelyn's youth returning with a grudge. And the national news cycle that turns a local scandal into a broader social debate. Performance and casting, old hands. New faces. A primetime soap must blend veteran gravitas with youthful electricity. Lauralee Bell anchors the show, and her presence gives it lineage. Around her, casting should balance recognizability and freshness. Evelyn, Lauralee Bell's capacity for simmering intensity will be the show's emotional fulcrum. She must play vulnerability as power's corollary, the sense that the woman most comfortable in control is terrified of losing it. Marcus. A charismatic actor in his 30s with a capacity for moral complexity. He must be both charming and alarmingly efficient. Lena, a bright, slightly elusive presence. Casting someone who can navigate both tech culture and coastal small-town life will be essential. Daniel. A character actor with a haunted past, someone who can carry a legal monologue and then break in private. Clara and the youth. A smart ensemble of young actors who can convincingly live on social media but also in the tactile real world. Beyond casting. Direction will matter. Directors should favor long takes when the emotional currency is intimate and quick edits when tension spikes. The show benefits from a stable core team of directors and writers who can maintain tonal continuity, production design and music. Making the town sing. Every detail will shape the story's emotional texture. Design architecture. A blend of Victorian preservation and modern glass annexes. The Redford Mansion has rooms designed for public spectacle, a conservatory for galas, a study full of taxidermy and books. A portrait gallery with family faces that observe everything. Costuming, clothes are character. Evelyn's wardrobe is carefully curated, pearls, muted yet commanding colors, vintage brooches. Marcus wears tailored suits softened for boardroom glare. Lena favors functional chic, props, old ledgers, leather-bound diaries. And dusty film negatives become narrative objects. Music. A score that mixes chamber strings with ambient electronic textures will bridge old and new. Songs during montages should be contemporary, bittersweet selections that add modernity without distracting from dialogue. The right composer can make the town itself feel musical, low brass for decisions, high piano for secrets. A synth pad for the digital age. Leak moments. X. Social dynamics, marketing and audience. One of the pragmatic questions is how to position this show in the market. There are several smart avenues. Cross-audience appeal. Daytime devotees. Emphasize continuity of serialized drama and the familiar emotional beats that longtime soap viewers love. Prestige streamers. Highlight character depth, thematic gravity, and cinematic production values. Younger viewers. Use the show's social media mechanisms and teen perspectives to draw in younger audiences who like serialized mysteries with digital age complications. Marketing should be layered. Teasers that show Evelyn's glass-top desk and a cryptic line. Viral social posts that mimic in-show leaks. A behind-the-scenes series with Belle discussing why this story matters now. Bringing Belle into conversation. Heavy press circuits, podcasts, roundtable interviews, late-night appearances will also humanize the show for a broader audience. 11. Potential problems and creative solutions. No project is without risk. Here's where the show could stumble and how to address it. Risk. Soap tropes become caricature. Solution. Keep stakes rooted in emotional truth. Avoid, as if, plot devices, amnesia, cloned heirs, and instead mine character-driven conflict. Every plot twist should arise logically from choices characters have made. Risk. The show feels too close to existing primetime soap. Solution. Emphasize unique axes, tech versus shipping. A matriarch at the center, and the town as character. Make sea and marsh imagery cross thematic motifs. Let the show be melodramatic, but let its beats land with measured sincerity. Risk. Pacing misalignment. Between daytime and primetime. Audience's solution. Use hybrid structures. Episodes with satisfying emotional arcs but serialized proof-of-life threads that reward binging. The show should not ask watchers to remember minutiae without payoff. Each arc must have resonant payoffs within its season. What makes Harbor and Ember, in this imagined iteration, more than entertainment is its reflection of contemporary anxieties. In an era of reputation economies, where online narratives can ruin careers, and contested histories, where statute debates emerge into courtrooms, a serialized melodrama can be a surprisingly apt way to explore how societies reckon with the past. The show's town is a microcosm, a place where local history is a negotiation between memory, money, and morality.